So you will see that as I told you that service marketing mix, we had traditionally these are the 4P that we have studied in our marketing management paper. So it may be possible that we can use all these marketing mix in almost in a similar fashion into our service marketing mix, but since service marketing is a bit different from the conventional or the traditional marketing of goods, because it is intangible, it is inseparable, it is inconsistent, it is inventory. These are the various issues of a services that make it distinct from the goods. So what will happen that some of the concept that we have used in marketing of goods can be replicated in the services, but as it is very different from the goods, so it cannot be replicated in an exact fashion. Either we have to modify it, sometimes we have to extend, we have to bring some more concept into it. So in the same, in this in the light of this, we are now going to discuss today is your service marketing mix. So before moving to the servicing marketing mix, let us understand this traditional marketing mix and how it is being applied into the services, fine, to greater extent, and what sort of modification is required in this traditional marketing mix model, fine. So if you talk about the traditional marketing mix comprises of 4P, which are product, price, promotion and place. So just have a look on these 4P's first, and then later on we will see how, and later on we will also analyze that whether it is sufficient to address all the issues of services, or we need to incorporate some other element also, or we have to modify the existing 4P's. Fine, that we will discuss on the later section of our discussion. So if you talk about the first P, that is the product. If you see that the product is the heart of a firm's marketing strategy, fine. It always lie in the very core, in the very center of their marketing strategy. Means all the marketing strategies that the marketer is going to develop or design, it is revolved around the product only, fine. If the product is properly designed, then what will happen, it will add more value to the customer, fine. And if it is not, if it is poorly designed, that it won't able to create meaningful value for the customer. So therefore, as a marketer, planning the marketing mix begin with creating a service product that will offer value to target customer and satisfy their need better than the competing alternative. Now if you see this statement, you will find there are some important words such as there is a planning and marketing mix begin with creating the service product. Means you have to start with creating the service product that should offer a value to the target customer. Means whatever product services you are going to create, it should be created keeping your target customer in your mind, and that too, that not merely providing the service product, but how well we can add value to their experience, fine, and that can satisfy their need vis-a-vis the competing alternative. Means you should be able to deliver value and satisfy their need better than the competitor or better than their competing alternatives, which is fine. For example, if you are using a phone connection of, let's say, Jio, it's mean, and you are showing some patronage with this particular brand, it means it shows that it is able to satisfy your need better than the competitor, be it Vodafone, be it your Airtel, etc. Might be the other case also, fine, it was just an example. Now if you see, when we talk about the service product so service product is basically is a sum total of two components, that is the core product and the supplementary service. Now what is the core product? Basically core product is the primary requirement that the customer is looking for from the service product, fine, and the supplementary services are the additional services, the other services or a variety of services that are mutually reinforcing and add value to help customer to use the core product more effectively. Means these are the services that facilitate consumer to use the services more effectively, fine. Sometimes it happens that in absence of supplementary services, people do use the services, but they are not able to use that services to the efficient manner or to the effectively there. For example, now uh, almost everyone have a Wi-Fi connection, maybe at their home or they are at workplace. So, and we know what are the benefit of having Wi-Fi, so we can access all the gadgets that is connected over the internet without the restriction of having wire. Fine, it have a better range of access, etc. But at the same time, so what is the core product? The core product is the Wi-Fi connectivity. But sometimes it happens that if the service provider does not give us the adequate information, if does not give us the proper knowledge and education regarding how to use that particular product, then we fail to use that product to its efficient manner. Fine. Here I have just to remind you one of the instant from the service provider is the Videocon D2H. So in Videocon D2H, for the, I think for the last 1 month I am facing one of the issue that there is a system called a Mosaic. So Mosaic process is now being deactivated from the Vodafone Videocon D2H itself. Now I have to just search all the channel. Fine, I cannot land up to the my desired channel when using the Mosaic classification that okay, music or the maybe entertainment, movie etc., news etc. So I have to scroll down, or sometime I have to memorize the channel number for news, which is the channel number I have to. So it is not giving me a right kind of experience. And when I have inquired this is, sir, we are upgrading our system and very soon we will fix it up. But for I think more than 1 month they have not able to fix it up. But still the core product, service product that I have bought is not the kind of channel I can serve. The kind of experience I will have from their broadcast or their telecast, that is very good. The sound clarity is good, the visuals are good, but the only thing that I am facing the problem on the supplementary services. Fine. And if you say the what are the various type service element, is basically providing information, consultation, even also order taking, hospitality and handling exceptions, etc. So these are the some of the example of supplementary services, and these are only as an indicative one. It used in a different kind of service product also. Sometime I go to avail particular service. Let's say when I opted for a Wi-Fi connection, so my service provider asked me how many gadgets do you want to run at a time, what was the exact duration, what are your purpose of getting this connection, etc. So based on this he has suggested that I should go for that particular package. Fine. It means what they are into they are into a consultation. Fine. It might happen that I may decide or I may select any of the package and later on I complain that it is not fulfilling my requirement. So this is nothing but a kind of a supplementary services. So I think you all are clear about the when we talk about the service product, means we are talking about the core product and the supplementary services. Now coming to the second P, that is our price element. If you see that the price, when I said that it is the service product that lie at the heart of the firm's marketing strategy, in a similar way, like product value, payment is very important in allowing a value exchange to take place. Fine. And the marketing strategy of a company is affected by how much income is generated. And generally if you see that this pricing strategy is often very highly dynamic, and we have to adjust our price level over a time, which is based on maybe the customer segment, time and place of delivery, level of demand and availability of capacity, etc. So these are the factors that govern my marketing strategy of pricing. Fine. And now very importantly, take a very important note here that when we decide the price, it is not only the monetary price that is being paid by the customer, there are different types of other user outlet also that the consumer has to bear, and it has both monetary and non-monetary. Fine. Now just try to understand, whenever you avail or buy a service product, so what is the money that you pay for that particular product or a service product is known as your monetary value that you pay, fine, for that particular product. Now in your instance, if I talk about the fee that you pay, the tuition fee that you pay for your education is the direct cost to you, but there are other outlays also, fine. You have to pay amount money for your transportation, you have to pay certain money for buying your stationery, you have to pay money to have some additional knowledge, you have to have some expenses to avail certain things over internet, fine. So these are nothing but these are the other outlay costs. And if you talk about the today's scenario of a pandemic COVID-19, now you all are getting this your classroom at the comfort of your home, and but see there is another kind of outlay that your family member, your family member is sacrificing their freedom, fine. They cannot listen music at the top of the voice, they cannot watch television etc, so that you can have a sound class, fine. So because at the same time you are availing the services, but you have to consider the cost that your family is paying also, fine. So these are the important thing. So sometimes there is a include additional monetary costs such as traveling expenses to the service location. It is the amount of time spent that you spend in the service facility. Sometimes there is an unwanted mental and physical effort is to be put. Sometimes you have to make so many calculation in your mind, and sometimes you are exposed to a negative sensory experience. So these are the various things that make it very very complacent when you decide the price. So therefore it is very important for a marketer that they should try to keep minimize the price as much as possible, because you have, as a consumer, you have to pay other outlays also, fine. Now if you say at the same time as far as price is concerned, the amount of time your service facilities remain idle, it means that is not in use, you are wasting your money, fine. That you have to keep in mind. जब तक आप अपने सेक्टर सर्विस फैसिलिटीज़ का जब तक आप यूज़ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो समझ लो उतने समय तक आप अपना मनी भी लूज़ कर रहे हो, फाइन. देयरफॉर यू हैव now you will be able to understand very well about why the company have a dynamic pricing in such a in case of a restaurant. Usually during daytime there is a less rush in the restaurant, so they give you a happy meal, fine. Or in case of some the restaurant that serve the liquor also, so because these are the odd hours when people generally don't visit there, so in order to keep their service premises serviceable, so they give certain offers to the customer, so they use dynamic pricing. And when there is a demand is high, they keep the prices very high so that they can meet the capacity. If they will not keep the price high, then there will be huge demand and they are not able to fulfill their demand, and this will create more unrest or dissatisfied customer, fine. So therefore the price is another very very important element. So the takeaway for this price discussion was basically, it is the one is the outlays, second is the customer segment, time and place of delivery, availability of demand and capacity is the important factor that makes the price highly dynamic, and we have to adjust our price accordingly, fine. So and the next one is that if you say there is a supplier, company, customer, etc. So this is here we are talking about moreover the distribution or the place, fine. So in distribution, if nowadays you will see that service distribution may take place from both the physical and electronic channels, fine. But the distribution depends on the nature of product, fine. If the product is totally intangible in nature, so obviously we can use the electronic channel for the distribution and delivery. But if it is not purely intangible, it has a certain degree of tangibility, then we have to use both physical and electronic channel of distribution. Take for example, you book you avail a Wi-Fi connectivity, fine. So after your Wi-Fi has been established, the connection is done, then you need not to take any kind of physical services. Fine. All you have to do is you have to make electronic payment. If you have any complaint, you can raise your grievances electronically, and this can be addressed electronically as well as. But if you talk about suppose you have placed an order through Flipkart, so the placing of your order, making payment, everything is done electronically, but the physical good has to be delivered at your place or the address. So for this you have to rely on the physical distribution. Fine. Here it is very important that you have to understand that nowadays time and speed has become very important. Fine. So you have to understand the importance of time factor. Speed and convenience of place and time have become important determinant of effective distribution and delivery of services. Now many services are to be delivered in real time while customers are physically present. For example, the health services, the salon services, etc. Fine. If you see how our customer is behaving nowadays, how their behavior has been changed, today's customers are highly time sensitive. They are almost always in hurry, and they see wasted time as a cost to avoid. Fine. So if they have to wait, if they feel that the waiting is wasting their time, so they consider this is the cost, so which we have studied as other outlays. Fine. So the more you have to wait, the more they consider they have wasted the money. So and the one peculiar thing is that now today's customer is ready to pay more or ready to spend more in order to save the time. Fine. For example, if you have to go from one place to another place, and suppose the bus takes only cost you 10 rupees, but the bus service is not available at that point of time, and you might get late. So because we are time pressed people nowadays, so what will happen, we will ready to spend 50 rupees for an auto and to be there on time. So this is how we are ready to pay extra money if it is comes to be saving our time and effort. Fine. That is very important. So it is very important for the service provider that they should carefully consider this speed and the time factor. Fine. While deciding the delivery of services. So keeping this thing in mind, nowadays many services are now trying to deliver the services at the convenience of the customer. So whenever customer wants the goods to be delivered, they make sure that goods should be delivered. Fine. And this has given the emergence to a concept of 24/7. So nowadays you will find that there are number of service provider who extend their hours. Fine. And now there are growing numbers of services are available 24/7. Fine. So which is very vivid example that nowadays all the service provider are also trying their level best to meet the expectation of their customer. After this, there is another P which is known as the promotion. And if you talk about promotion from the service point of view, then you have to understand it. The promotion means not only promotion but promotion and education. Fine. Is the right word when we refer in case of services. Now promotion and education, as I told you, this encourage the customer, this help the customer to take decision for availing the services, and they are very determining factor that what is the quantity of the services that the customer will avail, what sort of products, service product they will use right now or maybe in the coming near future. So if you talk about the role of the promotion, that the role of promotion is to provide needed information and advice. Fine. So the very important role that is being played by this promotion and education is to provide needed information and advice. As I have already discussed about this, how this supplementary service is going to facilitate the more usage of services. Now if the customer are well informed, if they have provided with the right kind of advice, then what will happen, they will be ready to purchase the more service product. Fine. So otherwise, and they can use it more effectively. So usually it happens that in absence of proper information or a knowledge, customer cannot effectively use the services. Just take for an example, if you have a Wi-Fi connection at your home, and but you do not have a information and education about how to reboot your router, how to fix certain configuration details in your router, such as DNS server, such as your IP address, and sometime it happen the company do not provide any kind of user manual along with the service product, but usually it happens that they do provide you, or sometimes they provide you a link of a soft copy from where you can get download your instruction, how to use, how to fix it up, or how to repair some sort of troubleshooting, or maybe some FNQ, fine. Frequently asked questions are also there. So these are the things that is to be used for a promotion. The second role that the promotion can play is that the persuading target customer, fine. It can convince the target customer to buy the service product. And how can they convince you, how can they persuade you, which is well depicted by this slide. 50% discount available only for $19, 50% season discount, super sale, special offer. These are the certain things that is being adopted by the marketer in order to boost up their sales, fine. So such kind of strategies can be used even in case of service marketing in order to persuade their target customer to opt or to buy the product. And the last role is of this service and education, promotion and education, is to encouraging them to take action at a specific time. That is very, very important, fine. Persuading target customer is one of the thing that they are kindling desire in the mind of customer that they should buy the product, but when they should buy, it is being addressed by the third point, that is encouraging them to take action at a specific time. Means what is the right time when your customer has to opt, when they have to respond for these communication. This was can only be addressed by the fourth element of 4 P's, that is your promotion and education, fine. So these are the 4 P's of traditional market, and then we have seen how this can also be used in our service marketing. But if you see that, since the very first lecture we are discussing the peculiar characteristic of services, the nature of the services. So the nature of services of intangibility, inseparability, inconsistency and inventory, this poses distinct marketing challenges. And moreover, the intangibility is one of the distinct characteristics make service marketing really, really challenging, because the customer fail to visualize, customer fail to experience it before using it. So it is very, very important that we must have a different kind of understanding, fine. So hence the 4 P of good marketing are not adequate to deal with the issues arising from marketing of services because of its characteristics, fine. Therefore it is very, very important that we have to adapt, fine, and extend some of the things, fine. Some of the element has to be adopted and then adapted, and then some of the new element has to be incorporated, fine. So we had just revisited the traditional 4 P's to focus on the services specific issues. Now as I emphasize that since service industry or the service sector is quite different from the goods, fine, marketing of goods, because it has its own challenges because of its nature. Tangibilizing the intangible is the another biggest challenge that we face. Inseparability, because most of the time the services deliver on a real time basis. We cannot separate the service provider and service recipient. At the same time, one cannot visualize the services beforehand. One cannot be sure about the outcome they are going to have before availing the services. So it is the time when we have to extend the 4 P's. Fine. I am not saying that we have go away with these 4 P. Yeah, we have to use 4 P, but additionally we have to use some more P's into our fold. Fine. And these another 3 P's are basically people, physical environment and process. Fine. So these are the another 3 P's that we have to incorporate, the people, physical environment and processes. Fine. So then this will make you the entire 7 P of service marketing. So my dear student, keep this in your mind whenever we are saying the what are the 4 P's of marketing mix of goods, then you have to be very much particular about the 4 P's only, that the product, price, place and promotion. When the marketing mix pertaining to services come, then you have to quote 7 P's, which is product, price, place, promotion, people, process and physical evidence or service space. Fine. Just let me briefly touch upon the another remaining 3 P's and how we are going to use in the service marketing, and later on we will discuss these different P's as a chapters. Fine. And various concepts pertaining to these subtopics. Fine. So now the another topic that is the P is the people. Fine. If you see that services are moreover delivered on electronically, but still there are a large number of services which will always need a direct interaction between customer and service employees. Be it your plumber service, be it your hospital service, be it your hotel industries, be it your educator, be it your mason, etc. So whosoever is providing service, in many number of cases you have to interact with your service personnel, and there are service personnel and there is a contact personnel. It depends. So it is very important when this service is being delivered by the people only, then it is very important that the organization must have a right kind of a people with the right set of attitude, with the right set of skill sets. Fine. They should be very empathetic, they are ready or they are willing to serve the people. Fine. So they have to be strategically think about how to recognize their loyal, skilled and motivated employees, so who can work well independently or together in team represented as a key competitiveness. So if you see that the HR manager has to be very focused about their hiring, their selection, their recruitment and their training of service personnel, because this is the people which will bring competitive advantage to your service industry or the service company, because more or less the processes are same, the technologies availability and access are same, but it is the only the difference in the kind of human we have, the kind of resources as a human we have make all the difference. Fine. So this is the people's role. Then comes the process. So process is the sequence through which we execute or deliver the services to our customer, and how well it is being designed will determine the success of the services and how well it is able to add value to the customer, and then finally result to customer satisfaction. Because a poor service process design also make it difficult for frontline employees to do their job well, resulting in low productivity and employee dissatisfaction. Fine. Suppose you do not have a right kind of process, so the frontline manager means the person who deal with the customer will face a lot of challenges and difficulties, and they are not able to do justice with their job. They tends to be lower on their productivity, and also this will lead more customer dissatisfaction. Fine. As far as service process is concerned, as the services are intangible, so you cannot predict the outcome of service before availing it, which is possible in case of goods. Fine. And at the same time, if you see that in services process, the customer is also termed as a partial employees or maybe a co-producer. So this will also the process should be such that the people or the customers who also play their part very efficiently, and their increasing involvement may sometime can be replaced by using SST, that is the self service technologies can be used there. You can have a telecommunication and internet services, etc. And your process should be designed in such a way that you should be able to match your demand and capacity. As I have already elaborated on the topic, that if you are not able to match your demand and capacity, then in both the cases you are going to lose the business. Fine. If the demand is high and capacity low, you are going to lose the business. If demand is low and your capacity is more, then idle unused facility will incur more cost to you, so again you are going to lose. So this is very double-edged sword, that how to manage the precise balance between the goods and delivery, demand and capacity. And now the next one, if you see this slide, this is the room of the restaurant, where the table has been laid down, the way the chair has been arranged, the table, etc. Then the below the image you can see there is a image of a salon. On the left side of the slide you will see there is a doctor showing the room and hospital room with a modern bed and the modern equipment. So these are nothing but as I told you, service being intangible, it is very tough for the customer to evaluate beforehand. But these are the certain evidences that this is basically known as tangibilizing the intangible. So these kind of pictures, these kind of images, these create a certain mental schema in the mind of a customer, and they can perceive the kind of services they will get. Fine. So this physical evidence is very important, because it includes number of things, that is the appearance of a building, the landscaping, the vehicle, interior furnishing, equipments, staff members uniform, what are the different type of signages, what are the printing material that is being used and disseminated, and other visible cues, maybe the color combination or the color in the wall, the kind of curtain that has been used. Fine. These all are the other cues which customer do consider before purchasing and evaluating the services. Fine. So my dear students, so you have to be very carefully understand and apply these concepts into your service marketing as far as your traditional marketing mix are concerned. So just to reiterate, these are the 4 P's, that the product, price, place and promotion. Since service has a peculiar nature of intangibility, inseparability, inconsistency and inventory, so we cannot use all traditional 4 P's in a similar way or exact replicated into the service industry. So then it is imperative to do certain adjustment or to expand these marketing mix concept. So now we have extended 7 P's, that is pertaining to the service sector only, or service product, that is the product, price, place, promotion, people, processes and physical evidence, and sometimes it is also known as service space. So this is all about your service marketing mix.